Our first chapter in computer is computer system. We all know what is a computer. Computer is an electronic device. Computer is a device that manipulates data according to set of instructions called program. It performs tasks based on the instructions given to it. That instructions given to the computer are called programs. A computer can use many programs to carry out a wide range of useful tasks. So when we open our Microsoft Word, it uses a separate program to perform all the tasks on Microsoft Word. When we open Microsoft Excel, it performs a different task because it uses a different program to perform that task. So a computer uses many programs to carry out a wide range of useful tasks. The aim of computer is to speed up our task. So let us see what are the different characteristics of a computer. The main characteristics of computer are speed, reliability, accuracy, diligence, memory, cost, versatility, automation. So let us see what are these characteristics. The first characteristic is speed. We all know that computer performs all the tasks in a enormous speed. Whatever work we give to the computer, it will complete it in a less amount of time. So we say computer has high speed, performs work with enormous speed. Next is storage. Whatever data we give to the computer are stored in the computer either temporary or permanently. Temporary means what all things we do on a computer are stored in a computer temporary, and what all things that are saved in the computer are stored in the computer permanently. Computers can store enormous quantity of information which is expressed in terms of kilobytes or megabytes or gigabytes. It is achieved through the main memory or primary memory and secondary memory or auxiliary memory. Next is accuracy. The accuracy of a computer is consistently high because whatever task computer performs, it performs it accurately. So computers are used in applications like scientific research, space research, weather predictions, and many other areas where they need very much of accuracy, where high precision is needed. In such cases we use computers. Next is versatility. Computers are versatile in nature. Versatility means computers can perform a large variety of tasks. To perform a large variety of tasks, it has to be provided with a different programs. Computer can be used in schools for school management purpose, can be used in hospitals for hospital management, can be used in banks for banking applications. So same computer can perform a vast variety of functions, so it is called versatility. Next is automation. The biggest advantage of computer is that it is automatic in its operation. Once we give a programming logic to the computer, it will perform the related operations without any human intervention. Next is diligence. Whenever we human beings perform a task, do some work, we get tired. But have you seen a computer gets tired when it is overloaded with work? No, because computers are machines that do not get tired or lose concentration like our human beings. If a large number of calculations, say million calculations, are to be performed, the resultant output will remain exactly the same even if operations are repeated any number of times. But when a human being is asked to do the same job, they will get tired and it will result to the output produced by them. Next is reliability. The computers give very accurate result with predetermined values. They correct and modify the parameters automatically, give suitable signals. They give formatted results with high degree of precision. Next is cost. Hardware costs have been decreasing at an estimate annual rate. Companies that at one time could not justify the cost of acquiring their own computer system may now find it only feasible to acquire a system, but cost effective is as well. In olden days, computer systems were much costly and it was not affordable at home, but nowadays it is much cheaper. So in all the houses and in different shops they started using computer system because it has now become much cheaper. Let us see what are the uses of computer in everyday life. The applications of computers in everyday life are: first one in document typing. Computers are very helpful for word processing. We all know an example of word processing is our Microsoft Word, where we can type the content, and it has many advantages like spell check, grammar check. It will correct it automatically and notify us whether there is any error in the document that we have typed. Next is entertainment. Computers can be helpful in entertaining us, like we can watch movies, play games. Next is general knowledge. Computers can help us in refining our general knowledge with the help of educational software, explaining concepts. Whenever we have any doubt, we just go to the Google or any other search engine and clarify our doubts. Next is it is used for email and internet applications. Through email we can share our data with people living far away from us, or we can communicate from one place to the other place, where in any place around the world. All the applications like of internet can be accessed with the help of computer. All the applications like e-learning, e-commerce, downloading of files, uploading of files, all these are possible with the help of computer. Scheduling and calendar. We have applications like calendar in our computer, which we can use for scheduling our tasks. No need of writing down it in a paper. We can schedule our tasks in the calendar software itself. Next is applications of computers. Computers have applications in wide variety of fields. So let us see what are the different applications of computers. So computers can be applicable in education. Nowadays we are depending upon the e-learning system for education. Then in industries, they use the applications of computers for making goods. In car making companies, they use the application of computers to create the different body parts of the cars and assembling each created body parts. Then in banking system also use the applications of computers, because a bank is a network. Different branches of the banks are connected together. It is also an application of computer. In hospitals, the hospital management system is an example of computer application. Then the transportation facilities, all the transportation facilities and ticket booking, everything depends upon the computers. Then insurance field, all the paperworks are now converted to a form of soft copies. So all these fields can use the services provided by computer. And the most important application of computer is in the field of science and technology, because day by day new applications are invented in the field of science and engineering. These are all possible with the help of computers. And in the business field also, computers play a major role. Then in the telecommunication field also, computers have large role. Next, in entertainment, we all know we play games, watch movies. These are all the applications of computers. Next, in railways and airlines, are fully dependent on computers. Then in desktop publishing, DTP works are done with the help of computers. Next is, we know computer has large number of functionalities, large number of functions that is provided to us, but it has some few limitations also. So let us see what are the few limitations of a computer. Computers can't do anything unless they are first programmed to perform the specific task. It does not understand, it cannot understand what task to be performed. To make them understand what task they should perform, we have to first program them. We have to create a software. With the help of that only they can understand what functions they can perform. So computers cannot do anything unless they are first programmed to perform the specific task. Next is computer cannot interpret the data they generate. Computers cannot understand the data what they have generated, and they can't detect if the operator feeds wrong data to it. Whenever we give a wrong input to the computer, it will regenerate a wrong output. So computer cannot detect whether the user is giving him a wrong input. Computers cannot decide how they are to be programmed or provide their own input. Computers cannot take their own input. We human beings have to provide the input either through keyboard or through mouse. Computer cannot implement the decisions that they suggest. They cannot implement their own decision. Computers can store vast amount of data in memories, but only human can tell them what to do with that data. Next is the functioning of a computer. A computer can perform four main functions. They are: accept the data which is given by the user. It is called input. Input can be provided through mouse and keyboard. Then process the data. When the input is given, the computer checks what function is to be performed. That is called process the data. Then after processing, provides the result to the output device. Then the result is stored in the memory. So this cycle is called input process output cycle, that is IPO cycle. Let us see what are the different functional units of a computer. First unit is the input unit. The input unit accepts instructions and data. The process of collecting and entering data into the computer is called input. The input unit is used to enter data into the computer, like our mouse, keyboard, which we use to enter the data into the computer. These mouse and keyboard are called input units. Then the next one is processing unit. This unit performs processing of instructions and data inside the computer. Whenever we give the input reaches the CPU or processing unit, and from there it checks what task is to be performed. This is called processing. The input unit or the CPU is divided into control unit and logical unit. Next is the output unit. This unit communicates the result to the user. The result is given to the user through the output unit. So after processing, the output unit provides the result. The output units are monitors that displays the output to us, or printers that provide the hard copy of the result. Next is storage. This unit stores the final result either temporary or permanently. When we type a document, before saving, it is stored temporarily. When we type a document in word processor, then the data is stored in our computer temporarily, because when the power fails, the data which is on the word processor is not saved. It will be lost when there is a power failure. So we have to save a document after doing the work in a word processor or any file. We have to save, then only it will be stored in the secondary memory. While typing, it is not permanently stored, so the storage unit stores the data either temporary or permanently. Next is performance of a computer. Our computer's performance is measured with the help of two units. They are megahertz or million instructions per second. These two units are used for measuring the performance of a computer. Like an 8 megahertz processor will do things twice as fast as a 4 megahertz processor. That is, the performance of 8 megahertz processor can perform large amount of task compared to a 4 megahertz processor. It is the there are two units to measure the performance of a computer. They are megahertz and million instructions per second. Next is binary concept. We all know what is called a binary. Binary means binary system depends upon only two digits. They are 0 and 1. So we all use languages to communicate with each other, but what happens is our computer cannot understand any of our languages. It can just understand only machine language. Machine language is a language in which each word is a combination of 0 and 1. So the digits 0 and 1 are called binary digits. A computer can understand only a combination of zeros and ones. So all the data which we give to the computer are converted into the form or in the combination of zeros and ones. This is called binary concept. So what happens is, when whatever data we give is converted into the combinations of zeros and ones, that is converted into a binary language called machine language that the computer can only understand. So computer can understand only binary concepts, that is language in which each data is represented in the form of zeros and ones. Next is memory measurements. So in memory we use the smallest unit to represent the memory is called bit. In computer, one unit space or one binary digit is called 1 bit. So 0 is a bit and 1 is a bit. 1 and 0 are two binary numbers, and so 1 is a bit. 1 occupies 1 bit of memory and 0 occupies 1 bit of memory. So let us see what are the different memory measurements. First one is nibble. Nibble is equal to 4 bits. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So 8 bits constitute 1 byte. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte is equal to 1024 kilobytes. 1 gigabyte is equal to 1024 megabytes. 1 terabyte is equal to 1024 gigabytes. Next is the communication technology. Whenever a computer requires multimedia content from a remote computer or a server, this information has to travel through computer networks using some communication technologies. If the amount of information is large, it must be compressed to reduce the communication delay. Mobile communication is an internet-based communication technology. It is used for the transmission of data from one place to another. So, in communication technology, we use 3 C's. They are computer, content, and communication technology. When these 3 C's are met, we can ensure that communication technology converge towards platform independence. It means that a device can access data of any type or any size. Let us see different services provided by the communication technology. They are World Wide Web. It is the collection of websites and web pages. Telebanking and net banking. E-commerce. GPS. Video conferencing. E-learning. Email. Radio and television. Cable TV using internet. All these are applications of communication technology. So this chapter is over, so we can stop our class here.